So I'd like to invite Natalie, who is with the Department of Geography, Environment, and Geomatics at the University of Ottawa, who's working on some interesting projects with the Inuit and Northern people. And so anyway, over to you, Natalie.
Thanks, Gordon. Hello, everyone. I'm so pleased to be part of this session with such interesting and informative presentations that have gone before me. Today, I'm going to share with you about our ArcticNet project, which involves collaborative survey development and training to understand Inuit uses and needs for weather, water, ice, and climate information. And this presentation is based on work that Mrs. Shirley Tagulik, the Nunavut coordinator, shown here in the photo on the far right, Principal Investigator Dr. Gita Lubicic in the middle photo, and I, postdoctoral fellow at University of Ottawa and McMaster University, have been doing over the past 1.5 years. Next slide, please. And it's not just us. This is a big team effort. We have 38 team members, in fact, and everyone involved in developing and writing our project proposal. Please click the slide. As well as local research coordinators, more recently hired to lead and conduct the survey in their home communities, and external reviewers from Inuit organizations and government service providers have provided tremendous feedback in our iterative process for developing the questions for our survey. So I want to acknowledge the full team up front. Next slide, please. Our team of Southern and Northern researchers has been working together in different ways for many years, and we have heard and had projects focused on the increasing variability experienced and challenges this creates for travel safety on the land, which includes water and ice. We've also heard how people use different kinds of information about environmental conditions from within and beyond their community to make decisions about travel safety, and how many of the services that are currently available are not meeting the needs of remote communities. So we decided to come together in a coordinated approach to community-based research to develop a survey to get feedback in a consistent way from a wide range of people living in communities across Arctic Canada who go out on the land, water, and ice. And our goal is to inform efforts by community organizations, service providers, and decision makers to improve the information and services available to support safe travel in northern communities. So in this presentation, I'll outline the process we have taken to date involving collaborative survey development and also training 17 local research coordinators who are being supported remotely while independently facilitating questionnaires. And our process has led us to reflect on our approach and methodology we engaged in while undertaking these activities. And our reflections are drawn from assessments of co-facilitated training events, a collective review of field notes, and informal discussions among co-authors and with the local research coordinators and network investigators. So I'll first share a timeline of project activity highlights, followed by a description of the Indigenous research framework that guides the ways in which we conduct this research. And I'll finish by highlighting 4 key aspects of our collaborative survey design. Next slide, please. And can you click the slide? In December 2018, research partners, Inuit and community organization representatives, government, academia, and Northern community members met to plan and brainstorm about survey content and how best to administer the survey. Please click. By March 2019, a draft survey was ready to share with meeting participants and other stakeholders. Please click. Their feedback was incorporated, and a second version of the survey was circulated and submitted for ethics review by June 2019. Please click. In September 2019, the third version was finalized, incorporating feedback from research ethics boards. Please click. And then in October 2019, the local research coordinators gathered near Montreal, Canada to participate in training and to review the survey. Please click. In November 2019, their feedback was incorporated, and the 4th and final version of the survey was submitted for ethics final approval and circulated. And another local research coordinator training event was hosted in Inuvialuit, Canada. Please click. Then in December 2019, with ethics approval, local research coordinators started administering the survey in 6 communities in Nunavut, Canada. and nearly 200 questionnaires were completed. Please click. Then, in March 2020, due to COVID-19 related restrictions, the survey was put on hold, and it will resume when we get permission to do so safely. Please click. So once the questionnaires are completed, we'll conduct preliminary analyses, and then that'll be followed by a collaborative analysis workshop. And at that time, local research coordinators and network investigators together will review the preliminary outputs, we'll conduct additional analyses, and then we'll plan results verification and sharing exercises. Next slide, please. So throughout the collaborative survey design process, team members have identified important ways in which to ensure that the project is collaborative, as well as key considerations for project implementation and management. So these included the need to be inclusive, and for using the local Inuit dialect and carefully selecting who would facilitate the survey. It was important that we use multiple formats to reach a range of people, as well as include a seasonal calendar. It's also important that we ask relevant and respectful questions and support community research capacity. And finally, that we have an evaluation component as part of the project and report results to different audiences. Next slide, please. So today I'll just be highlighting 4 of these aspects that are shown here in green. The next slide, please. So to begin the discussion about being inclusive, I want to describe the Indigenous research framework that guides the way in which this project was developed and is conducted. The Inuvialuit research framework was developed by elders in Nunavut, Canada, through work with the Inuvialuit Society in Inuit Nunavut. And Inuvialuit processes can have different purposes, but common to all of them is the expectation that the end result comes from building consensus around an issue and agreement around viable solutions. So Inuit worldview is based on 4 Malagite or big laws. These include working for the common good, continually planning and preparing for the future, being respectful of all things, and maintaining harmony. Next slide, please. During our training events, local research coordinators identified ways in which each law applies to the ways in which they would conduct the survey. So here are some examples. Working for the common good. I will prepare and inform people of the goal of the project and work to get buy-in. Being respectful of all things. In hunting, I will share the catch. In research, I will share the results. I will be open-minded, respecting other people's ideas. Continually planning and preparing for a better future. I will connect the project to the bigger picture, and I will be flexible, adaptive, and innovative. Maintaining harmony, I will share knowledge, and I will be open-minded to other people's ideas. Next slide, please. We had an inclusive approach to survey development through involvement of all team members and local research coordinators in review and incorporating feedback through an iterative process. But we also have an inclusive approach through survey implementation. We're inviting youth, men, women, people of different ages and different experiences to participate. Next slide. For instance, in this question, where participants rank how often they travel for various reasons, you can see the diversity of options. Hunting and fishing in various places, gathering wood, food, stone, collecting water to go to their cabin, guiding or outfitting, and for school land trips. And we also provided space for participants to list any other reason they travel. Next slide, please. We heard over and over the importance of respecting and working in the local dialect. So we translated recruitment materials into the local dialect for each community. And local research coordinators, with the help of interpreters in some cases, will translate the survey questions orally as needed. And this allows for important opportunities for clarification. But it also responds to the Inuvialuit framework, raising awareness and consensus building within the team and in the community for people to be able to be comfortable speaking. Next slide, please. In Inuit Nunangat, Inuit homeland in Canada, different modes of transportation are used in different seasons, and different kinds of safety considerations and environmental information are needed for safe travel in different seasons. We wanted to be respectful of Inuit seasonal descriptions, which we had already documented in a number of communities through past initiatives. A challenge arose in that seasons are not the same in each community in terms of timing. And for some communities, they used 4 seasons, and in others 6 seasons. In yet others, they didn't feel comfortable assigning season names to certain months. And we really went around in circles on this one, with many iterations of how to approach this in respectful ways to accommodate unique seasonal timing, language, and representation. And we were also aware of challenges associated with showing diagrams such as these, because not everyone will agree on the seasonal cycle. And in some cases, as we've been hearing this morning, have changed so much that older diagrams are not reflective of the past 3 years, the focus of our survey. So in the end, we weren't able to find a good representation that everyone was comfortable with. So we went back to just the months shown in this table. And that will mean options are consistent across communities. The variability of responses will show the unique seasonal travel or timing for each community, and responses will be more representative of travel habits within seasons. For instance, for example, the long winter. Next slide, please. There are several ways in which this project is supporting local capacity. We're working with mentors and local research coordinators who have a lot of research experience in each community. Inuvialuit Society has a leadership role. They applied for funding to support all aspects of training, and they're administering that funding. We're learning from each other across communities and regions, learning new skills and technology, sharing skills and strengths, and taking a coordinated approach to locally led research. And we're working with local capacity and helping to enhance it by bringing people together to support and learn from each other, and aiming to support community leadership and research over the long term. So to highlight key elements of the training workshops, we spent time getting to know each other, talking about how weather, water, ice, and climate information are shared in communities now, revising the survey questions, and providing feedback. We discussed approaches to raising awareness in the community, practiced the survey, and reviewed details on research ethics and administration. Final slide, please. So on behalf of the project team, I would like to thank ArcticNet for funding this project in a way that supports and enables us to work collaboratively. And I would also like to recognize the many partners who are providing support in so many ways. The hope and goal of our whole team is that this collaborative approach to survey development will yield rigorous, relevant, valuable insights that will enable and support safe travel in Inuit Nunangat. We offer these reflections in order to support future efforts in this emerging capacity enhancement and partnership approach to research, and also to contribute to ongoing discussions surrounding capacity enhancement, partnership research, and Inuit self-determination. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if there's time, or please feel free to contact me at the email address shown here. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Natalie. Very interesting presentation. I was actually part of ArcticNet for its first decade, and it continues to evolve in very fascinating and forward-looking ways, bringing people more involved than we did in our early days. So very good.
Thanks, Gordon.
I don't see any chat questions, but I think that well, one of the things that will be interesting to us to see as the restrictions come off when you complete this survey as to how it well, really shows very interesting things, I expect.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll have the opportunity to present next year and share some of that information.
Well, that's just exactly what I was going to say.
Wonderful.
That we'll see you in Victoria, if not before.
Fantastic.
CMOS next year.
Great.